leading up to it, everyone's having the conversation about like, oh, there's going to be singing in the theater, and I just want everyone to like die. I want to just watch the movie
in a fire. Yeah,
like even when you go to Broadway, you're not allowed to sing.
Right.
You're just there
Unless it's indicated as such.
Sure. But I don't know. I
think they are releasing a sing-along version.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I saw that and I thought of you guys because we were talking about it last week.
Absolutely great. I'll go and I'll scream. That's awesome. But like,
not the song. You're just gonna go in there.
Yeah, just
I'm gonna walk in and be like,
high pitched
the whole time.
Yeah.
You hated that.
Yeah.
YUNKJunk!
What's up to our sidekicks and henchmen out there in the Geek Nation? Welcome to, what's the show called? I'll tell you what it's called. Cult Pop Podcast, episode 106. One of the longest running comic book and pop culture podcasts in all of Oz, where we talk about movies and comics and TV, Sharks of Rome, and all the other things that scratch that sweet, nerdy itch. By the way, don't go see Gladiator 2.
Or do.
Do it. It's great. The Sharks of Rome will stay in the notes somewhere.
Or just to make me angry.
Forever. Like it's just like in the description of a movie, and then all of a sudden,
Sharks of Rome.
One day it's gonna be my poppin', like my what's poppin' for the week. I'm like, listen,
Sharks of Rome.
Sharks of Rome this week.
I did the research as to how sharks can be transported from the largest body of water
into a coliseum
to a airtight coliseum naval battle.
It works. It's fine.
Oh, hey, we're coming to you live from YUNKJunk HQ, a bomb-ass podcast production space here in Manayunk, Pennsylvania. Hey, Dylan, if the people out there are so inclined and they want to get all up in your business and ask you how do they get a podcast going, what do they do?
Well, I would encourage them to get up all in my business by emailing me, dylan@yunkjunk.com. You can find that at the bottom of the screen. And let me know if you want to start a podcast. And I will do whatever I can in my power to make it happen.
It's true.
Now, is there like a grab bag, like a hat of different kind of thing? And do you tell them what their podcast is going to be about, or do they have to think of their own?
Yeah, I size them up, and I'm like, you could do a podcast about dolphins, or also, whatever.
Or the Sharks of Rome.
The Sharks of Rome.
For a nominal fee, he'll also just do that part. Like for like what, $5-10, you walk in the room and he tells you what your podcast is going to be, and then you're out. There's like a line of
Smoke
like
bomb, and then he flies out the window.
A line of like 12th century antiques. Go.
That's exactly right.
It's like topic.
He vibe checked me and Jess. That's how we got our podcast.
Yeah.
Vibe checked you?
Yeah. He like checked it. He like checked our vibe, and he's like, you're inside the
like, y'all fuck with dead people, don't you? Yeah.
I'm your host, JD of Johnny Destructo's Hero Complex. It's a rad-ass comic shop, Main Street, Manayunk. Come buy my stuff. With me tonight to talk, as usual, are Alice and Noel. Hold on. Noel.
Which was which?
The Alice.
Where?
I'm just telling them who you are.
I have Alice blindness. Where's Alice? Just tell me the direction where Alice is sitting, and then I'll pretend to talk in that direction.
She's got Angry Alice arms. She's the one. Yeah. But also special guests, theater kid Jess from Inside the Morgue.
Hey,
Bwah, bwah, bwah. And our local Wizard of Oz expert / enthusiast, Sam. Golf clap. Also, Dylan, he's in this stuff doing the junk. Tonight, we're going to discuss the biggest movie in the world, Wicked, and maybe more than a little bit of the other adventures throughout Oz on film. But before we do all that, a gentle, sweet reminder that if you're here live, please get up on that chat, comment, like, subscribe, do all that nasty fun stuff. And if you're watching it later, also do all that nasty fun stuff. We love a little back and forth. So pipe up in the chat like I just said, or send us emails at cultpopgo@gmail.com, just like Christopher St. Saucy Goodnight did. I'm going to read it now. Get your bodies ready for this. So I know you have some plans for next year already, but I thought I might suggest something. A 4-week March Madness for Scream characters.
Yes.
4 brackets: killers, victims, survivors, extra characters. And people who are never in any danger. I would pick the characters. I would pick the characters and set up the first round, and you all would take it from there. Chris St. Saucy, good night. Now, I'm super into this, and I know this one is. Because she can't like things in a chill way, aka Scream.
We do have some gaps. Wait, are you talking like the entire four
all of
episodes?
March? I think
all of March might be hard.
Yeah, but like
we could totally do it.
One episode.
Yeah, we could totally do it. Also, I have ideas for after Mission Impossible. We'll get there. In the chat, actually jumped in. Carl Carls is here, as well as Christopher St. Saucy. Good night. Hi, guys.
Hi.
We didn't bring amazing mail from you.
All right, here's the thing.
Because it's raining.
Carl Carls, we got a big old package at the comic shop a couple days ago, and I saw the address that it was coming from, which was in Australia. So I was like, oh, Carl Carls, that's our buddy. So Carl Carls sent us a big old package for, well, not you two, but everyone else.
I'll share.
It specifically said, don't give anything to Jess or Sam, which also involves snacks. So I was going to bring the snacks, but then it's been torrentially downpouring. Yeah. So I did not want to get anything damaged, and we walked here. So it has nothing to do with the fact that I completely forgot to.
We are going to do it on camera. It just may not be this week or next week, but thank you so much.
We also
thank you so much.
We also have another package from Christopher St. Saucy. Good night, because he has been asking us to review a movie, and he was like, they're not, I'm just going to send it to them. So he sent us the movie to review. Anyone out there who wants us to review anything,
send
it to us. And we have no choice but to do it.
And you're going to get some anonymous mail, and it's just going to be the little vampire.
Yeah.
We
Please review this Anthrax.
We genuinely will review the movie you sent. That's gonna happen
absolutely.
in January. We're going to earmark it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chris and Carl.
Carl.
Sorry. So we're here to talk about Wicked, but first I think we're going to dip our toes into the Wayback Machine and go talk about The Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. Hey, Jess. Oh, wait, what?
Hey, what?
No, just
hey, Jess.
Oz.
Hey, JD.
Tell us about your experience with Wizard of Oz.
So I was a very big theater kid growing up, and I think this stemmed from The Wizard of Oz in a way.
So cute.
That's not definite. I'm just making that connection right here.
Yeah.
Do you want a couch?
It all started.
Self-exploration.
My sister and I think my sister was more obsessed with me, and then she made me obsessed. We would watch The Wizard of Oz on repeat, like on days on end. We would just like watch it and then rewind the VHS and like continuously watch it on a loop. I would never get tired of it. And my sister was like, okay, we need to do something else. And I was like, no.
How dare you?
Refuse.
So to this day, is it still one of your favorites, or
It's definitely up there.
Yeah?
But just like knowing all of the behind the scenes stuff and like all of the things that they went through, I think that kind of knocks it down a tier for like favorite movies.
Fair enough.
But for the time, it's definitely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You were telling us before we jumped on screen,
Sam,
Hey.
A similar experience.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like,
Have you met Sam?
I'm sorry.
this is your wife.
Hey,
I thought it was time you guys got together.
oh shoot, is that what this is for? Commitment. You were telling us before we got on camera, you had a similar repetitive viewing experience. Almost, this movie was like shoved down your throat.
Yeah, so
No.
there was this house next door to my grandparents' house, and they had a granddaughter same age as me. So the girl and I would play sometimes, but I was 6 years old maybe. I used to get really frustrated with her because I loved playing outside. And she just wanted to sit and watch The Wizard of Oz and Kids Incorporated, aging myself, nonstop on loop. And so I grew to hate the film for that reason. I just associated it with that. But many years later, I, started, watching it, getting really into it, the pop culture effect of it all. They were always selling stuff like related to Oz at Hot Topic, even in the late 90s. I had a T-shirt that said, "Don't make me get my flying monkeys" in high school. And from there, I just progressed. I really dug my feet in once I understood.
Oz never not popular.
No.
Like, it's literally every generation.
Was that a cultural phenomenon when it came out?
Yeah.
Like, it was just like,
so.
Yeah, because it was one of the first, like, in Technicolor presentations,
that's
right?
Mm-hmm.
oh.
Like, even for film goers, like, it was exhibited in theaters for like years at a time. Because even for film goers, it was the only place where you could see live color other than cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when Wicked, the Broadway musical, was announced, I didn't realize how big it was or it was going to become. Mm-hmm. And only now at this age do I have so much gratitude. Hi, Mom. Thanks. For getting me a pair of tickets to see it on Broadway for the original run in the early winter of 2004 with the two original leads. and I went with my best friend, and we had a blast. And we've been waiting 20 years for this movie, so it's just been amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so jealous you got to see the original cast. I saw it
That's
too,
so
but I didn't see the original cast. It was still phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't get to see Idina Menzel.
Saw it again later in Philly at a smaller theater on a different run, but
Yeah.
Why did you not have that kind of obsession with Kids Incorporated?
I was not a Mickey Mouse Club or Kids Incorporated kid.
I loved Kids Incorporated.
I did too.
I still know. Yeah.
Hi.
PD. S. Yeah.
Just kidding. This is our Kids Incorporated
Yeah.
episode.
Welcome. Yeah. Noah, what was your experience with Wizard of Oz?
My mom loved it. When we were younger, we were too poor to have like a stereo system in the house. Or if we did, it was only like some things got, you could buy the CD for. I'm doing this because it's CD. They used to be like $35. So when my mom was cleaning the house on the weekends, she put musicals on. So I just passively became, I guess, obsessed with The Wiz, Wizard of Oz, Hair, Xanadu, like all of these Newsies. Well, actually, Newsies was much later. I got to see that in theaters. I was obsessed with musicals, and Newsies was in theaters. I think I was like, that was a birthday movie that came out in December, and for my birthday, I wanted to go see Newsies. Let's do Newsies. Let's just talk about Newsies.
Love Newsies.
Newsies is
Christian Bale, right?
Yeah, dancing,
Little baby Christian Bale.
alone in the street. Anyway,
Little baby Batman.
Santa Fe. So I always knew the movie. And then during college and high school, an affection for the movie, even though I never watched it, because of going through film classes and all of the firsts and all of like the stuff that still holds up and all of the technology that they developed just for this effing movie. But I never really like watched it in pieces, seen it many times, but it wasn't until you, for the 70th anniversary, 80th anniversary?
I don't remember.
It was only like 5 years ago. There was an HD re-release in theaters.
We went to Cinemark.
And I was like, I've never seen it in its entirety in the last like 30 years, I think. Like I just know all of the beats, but never sat down uninterrupted, watched it. So we went to the theater to go see it, and I kind of cried.
Yeah.
Like I ended up crying. Like,
How do you not?
because the movie is so ingrained in popular culture.
Yeah.
I know every single beat on paper, but just being there sitting through it without being interrupted or looking at something else it's an incredibly effective movie. And then too, like you were able to like look at the seams also, like the globe, when she's looking into the globe, and then there's pictures in it, and the Wicked Witch is talking. I'm like, this looks this looks so cool. And then I thought for a second, like, there's no digital inserts and or matte paintings. It's like brand new. That's rear projected onto a glass globe, and they timed it perfectly on the other side of the wall. Like that's just so wild, and it still looks so good.
So good.
So I love the movie. And then the other Oz stuff. We don't talk about the Great and Powerful Oz in the house. No.
The Sam Raimi John?
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
We don't talk about it. I think it's cool looking, but it's a terrible movie.
Has anyone else seen?
Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay.
I saw like it's like a horror movie. It's cool looking, but it's a terrible.
Well, yeah, because Sam Raimi. Yeah. Makes sense.
Return to Oz.
Oh,
I
terrifying.
remember being terrified by
The plot. I just remember I was scared.
Yeah, same.
I've seen The Wiz more than I've seen Wizard of Oz, the Diana Ross film one. Those songs I know more than the songs in Wizard of Oz. That used to terrify the shit out of me when I was younger. But yeah, no, it's always been around. I've always liked it, but it wasn't until the last maybe 5-10 years that I have a real appreciation for how amazing it is.
Wait, Alice?
Oh, hi.
You now. You go.
I actually just, similar to Jess, I just made a connection in my brain that I totally forgot about. I really liked Wizard of Oz as a kid. My mom, I think, showed it to me. She would always sing Over the Rainbow, just like around the house. And I had a boyfriend in kindergarten who, for my birthday, got me a little like purse that was Toto. It was like a fluffy little Toto purse, a little zipper on the top. So like I'd carry it around. It looked like I had a little Toto dog.
That's cute.
And I just remembered that I had that, and now I wonder if I still have it somewhere. I probably
with your
don't.
Superman.
Is it packed? It's packed away next to your man.
Yeah, your Superman.
I brought that to Philly. I keep forgetting to bring him in. So I really loved Wizard of Oz growing up. Flying monkeys scared the crap out of me. as a kid.
See,
They're frightening.
Yeah.
everyone says that to me, but I was never afraid of them for some reason. In fact, I developed a hyperfixation with the monkeys to the point where I started a stuffed animal monkey collection. And
That's amazing, though.
I used to joke that my oldest nephews were my monkeys, and I still call them monkeys.
I love
Correct me
that.
if I'm wrong. You actually did send them on missions to do your bidding.
Yeah.
Of violence.
Totally.
Classic.
In the
Hey, what about you?
oh, well, hold on. In the chat, Bailey saying hi. Can you say hi to me? Hi, Bailey.
Bailey.
Everyone say hi, Bailey.
Hi, babe.
Hi, Bailey.
The Happiest Millionaire or White Christmas, says Christopher Goodnight.
I think we're talking about musicals on there. Bedknobs and Bruce Six.
I forgot about that.
He liked Oz the Great and Powerful.
I don't think it's a net terrible movie. It's just really not very rote. It's just like it's like technically proficient. It's very pretty, but it's real anticlimactic and kind of rote. Yeah.
To answer your question, I have little to no experience with Wizard of Oz. It was around when I grew up. I never really cared about it. I've seen it maybe once all the way through decades ago. I kind of forgot it was a musical. Honestly, I was like, were there songs in that? All right, I guess so. Until you just said what?
Over the Rainbow.
Over the Rainbow. I was like, oh right, it is a musical. Yes, it is. So I never really cared about it. I remember seeing it at some point when I was old enough to kind of start appreciating film, and then that was the last time I saw it. I don't care. I've never cared about the Wizard of Oz. I was like the Princess Bride and Labyrinth. Like those are my two on repeat, rewind, watch again.
Repeat as well.
Yeah, love those. But like for some reason, Wizard of Oz never really struck my chords.
Thinking about repeat views, like things that I just turned on over and over and over and over again.
RoboCop?
No, it wasn't RoboCop. I didn't have that on VHS. It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Oh, well, yeah.
Two? The Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the Ooze.
All right.
Over and literally rewound it, turned it back on. Like it was a hyperfixation on that stupid movie.
Super Shredder.
I went
Ninja Rap.
into the history
Son.
of The Wizard of Oz at one point, and I read the Judy Garland autobiography from front to back, and that thing is sizable. Learned all about her sisters, her upbringing, and how she brought up her kids. It's really devastating. Her whole life is sad. Especially that time of her life, because that started a whole trajectory for her of really bad behavior. But
What are some of the terrible things that happened on set? You made reference to it.
Yeah, the Tin Man got lead poisoning, I think, from all of the painting that he had on him.
Oh my God.
Wasn't it this? It was more than one actor, right?
Yeah, the first actor, and then they had somebody else.
Margaret, whoever played the Wicked Witch of the West, there was like a scene where she went up in flames and she got like 3rd-degree burns.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Over a lot of her body.
Yeah.
The trapdoor malfunction.
Yeah. Judy Garland had to smoke like 30 packs of cigarettes a day and could only
Diet
drink
pills.
coffee.
They had her on Quaaludes
Yeah.
that she wouldn't eat because they thought she was too chubby.
Yeah.
They wanted her to look more youthful because she was starting to look more adult.
Didn't all the little people have to stay in the same place?
A lot of them were crammed into the same quarters.
Oh, the
they
same,
weren't
like,
paid.
hotel.
They weren't fed. They were drunk most of the filming of the movie.
Apparently there was like a drunk orgy.
And
They were all awful to Judy Garland too.
and her growth was stunted permanently because of taking drugs.
The diet pills and everything they were giving her. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's really dark.
Hollywood's
Really
dope.
glad I
the
didn't
30s
support
were
this
a
movie.
crazy
You're all
time for
jerks.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't
but
somebody unalive themselves on
not true.
set?
No, it's
true?
not
I
true.
remember
Let
that.
Sam address it.
That was the most I ever spent with Wizard of Oz was that.
Everybody, when they were a teenager at one point, heard the rumor that if you play Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd in reverse and watch The Wizard of Oz, you will see weird, trippy things, including a munchkin from Munchkinland swinging, being hung in the background of the forest.
I remember that.
As they're saying, Yellow Brick Road. But it's not. It's been disproven many times.
It's like a bird or something in the back.
But I feel like it's just going to be a common fake.
Wasn't there a similar one about 3 Men and a Baby?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It was the little boy that accidentally shot himself on that set or in that apartment.
Yeah.
But really, the main character, the Ted Danson character, was an actor. It was just a standee from one of his movies.
Oh,
That was in the
funny.
window.
I remember looking for that.
Did you know that they still show The Wizard of Oz every Thanksgiving week on TBS or TNT?
Yep.
I used to look forward to that
Yeah.
as a kid because
Yeah.
I didn't own it on VHS or anything. And then when I was an adult, I got the DVD. But
I'm actively interested now because of seeing Wicked to go back and revisit The Wizard of Oz, especially when there are movies out there that I kind of poo-pooed growing up, bless me. And like It's a Wonderful Life, White Christmas, etc. Like all the old black and whites. So just kind of like growing up, I just didn't care about going back and revisiting them at all. So in my adulthood, I've tried to check them out. I'm like, oh my God, these are classics for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am dumb.
more themes, but powerful enough to draw in a younger crowd. Yeah.
They stand the test of time. Yeah. So, Oz. Hey, Wicked the musical.
Yeah.
You talked about your experience. Did you guys tell us more?
You go.
I saw it in a small theater in Buffalo when I was living there with Costa. He got me tickets for either my birthday or Valentine's Day.
The Costa?
The Costa.
E. Costa.
The Costa.
Only.
Constantinos.
Of Costa?
Of Costa.
Of Costa's coasters?
Costa Coasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come.
Coasters.
He has to order more for
Christmas.
I expect.
I know.
A coaster.
I know.
It's an inside joke because Costa, her soon-to-be husband, for Christmas will give out coasters of pictures of himself. So there's
daily.
Costa's coasters.
Yes. And I want to say, I came up with it.
Oh, is that your idea?
It was my idea.
Oh.
But I made a joke about it. Like I was like, wouldn't it be funny if instead of Christmas cards, we gave like Costa coasters with your face on them? I made like an offhand comment about how it would be funny. And he followed through and went on Shutterfly and made Costa coasters. And it's been a bit for like 4 years.
It's a good bit.
4 or 5 years.
Great bit.
I approve.
Yeah, and my family is obsessed with them. They expect my parents' house is filled with like, if you get a coaster at my parents' house, like 50% of them, it's gonna be Costa's face.
Nice.
I don't even believe in coasters, but now.
So many sets of
so many
coasters,
coasters.
we don't even care.
Yeah,
But the ones that get used are
Costa.
Costa's face.
they are.
I gotta put
So,
it
I'm
in
sorry.
his face. Sorry.
The musical.
Yeah, he took me to see it in Buffalo, and I didn't know what it was about, except for like, it was kind of a prequel, and like I knew it had to do with Elphaba and Glinda, and that's all I knew. And I went in, and I was so obsessed with it the entire time. I was like sitting on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. I was like, this is so good. I was on my seat like this. I was on my haunches, just like that.
curled up
Curled
like
up?
gargoyle style because
And Costa's like, she loves this. He's like,
She can't like things in a chill
she
way.
can't like things in a chill way. And yeah, I loved it.
Clearly.
I've loved it. I'm really jealous you got to see the original cast. But yeah, that was my first experience with it. I haven't read the book. I really want to.
No, I haven't.
But when I heard the movie was happening, I was very, very excited.
Yeah.
You already told us, right?
I actually never saw the musical live. I've only watched bootleg versions.
Oh.
I was that theater kid. But as any theater kid, you are obsessed
see
with
it in
Defying
New York,
Gravity.
You can still see it in New York.
I know. I really want
Let's
to.
go.
I was gonna
But,
say there
like-
must be a resurgence right now, right? Of like the show.
Absolutely.
yeah, it's
Dom, take her. That's her
If
fiance.
you're watching, please take me. As any theater kid is obsessed with Defying Gravity. Like I remember like all of us at like our theater rehearsals would like sing it, like belting it so badly too at the top of our lungs.
Would you say you were holding?
I was holding.
Were you holding space for it? Sorry.
And like after rehearsals, like I would go home and like try to find like all the videos and like watch it online. Like that was my connection to the musical because I was never able to go watch it live.
Yeah. Right on.
I love it.
Do you have any experience with?
no.
Same.
Damn.
I've never watched it.
I love musicals.
That's the end of our show.
I genuinely love musicals. But this one just like flew by me. Yeah, I'm like, cool, Wizard of Oz. That's nice.
I think that was,
everyone
like-
loved it. That's nice.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
a peak time for me diving into the more mature topics of The Wizard of Oz and the concepts of
It's just all hit you
all
at
of
the right
that.
time.
Seeing it in 2004, I was probably 20-ish.
2005.
So that was
when it
20
came
years ago. I was 20. So yeah, it was phenomenal. I think that might have been only like my third time seeing a Broadway play in person in New York, which is kind of cool that it was. But I was just so blown away by it. And then again, it kind of like reignited that interest, that hyperfixation and learning more and just being obsessed with the idea of this is what happened before Dorothy dropped in. And I did have the book, but I dragged my feet, didn't read it. And now I'm currently borrowing a friend's copy and I'm about a quarter of the way through it. It is not like The Wizard of Oz. It is not like the play. It is not like the movie. There's just a lot more happening there.
The original writer, tangent. The writer of the book did not originally like the musical at all.
They had to make it family friendly.
At all. But he came around to like, I appreciate what you did with my work. But he did not, like, he was just like, cool, you took all the teeth completely out.
Literally.
I really want to read the book.
I'm thinking
that has
And I was going to say, Elphaba
real
has, like shark teeth. Yeah.
in the book.
2004 it came out. Yeah, there's no way I would have seen this.
The book was 95.
I was in Florida in college. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, I think I worked at Barnes & Noble at the time, or at least when there was, I think that the play was happening. And I remember it was a big deal, but I remember thinking, oh, what a cool idea.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's from the perspective of the Wicked Witch, and it's, holy shit, what a great idea. Is that the first that I can think of? I guess it is. Is that the first that we can think of that sort of story being told of the villain getting their own version of the story?
Well,
because to me that was like such a revelatory idea.
They've done a couple times since.
There's been a ton of them. There's a Scar movie coming out from The Lion King.
Well,
we've had Maleficent, etc.
Yeah,
but this is the first one I can think of.
I can't think of anything. Vicious Marshmallow's in the chat. There are 5 goddamn people at the table tonight.
Yeah, that's Terry.
Arithmetic.
The last time my family and I were back in America, we went to see Wicked in Chicago, says Carl Carls.
And Chicago?
Oh.
And Chicago. In Chicago.
Yes, they both.
He ran into my knife.
Wait, can I ask Jess a theater kid question?
Please.
What is your favorite musical that you've been in, and what was your favorite part to play?
Oh my gosh.
Can I answer first?
Yours.
Go ahead.
Grease, and I was Sunny.
Oh my God. I love that for you.
Second was Once Upon a Mattress, and I was just like 8 different nights. Just chorus.
Love that.
Yeah. Those were super fun.
Mine was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and I played Lucy. That was a really fun. That was just such a fun show. I peaked in high school in that.
No, you
That's cute.
What was the other question?
I just want to know your favorite play and your favorite part that you played. So,
yeah, probably that one.
I love that.
I think my all-time favorite is probably Newsies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we do
that's a good
favorite
one.
musicals?
Oh, like
That's
in general?
Oh, I don't know.
My nephew's really into small community productions right now, and his goal in life is to be in Newsies on Broadway.
That's really cute.
He's 12. He's got it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
My favorite musical, Phantom of the Opera. But Wicked is up there for me. Honestly.
I remember seeing Phantom of the Opera, like going to see Phantom of the Opera live and being so excited and then being like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah.
I worked stage crew for Phantom of the Opera.
Oh.
And it was very pivotal in my high school
remember
career.
how cool it was, like the way the sets were put together and then they would move around.
I love practical
That's
effects and I
awesome.
love sets and I was all up in that.
There's also
So cool.
there's like so many different, I want to say subgenres. That's probably not the right terminology for it, of musicals though. Like some will hit hard, some won't. There's operatic ones where there's no dialogue. Yeah. There's ones that are kind of set to almost
Les Mis,
like
is that?
yes, Les Mis and Demon Barber of Fleet Street. See, Hamilton though is I think
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd. That's operatic also, where
Love
there's
Sweeney
just like
Todd.
no talking.
Now I
It's
don't
just
know what my
everyone
favorite musical is.
singing. Yeah.
Oh wait, Hamilton really might be my favorite.
Hamilton's really you said Hamilton, I'm like shit.
Hamilton, even though it's all musical, it's all like staccatic and very like modern. So they're all
Very
bangers,
Lin-Manuel
right?
Miranda.
But then there's others that are like this is like Wicked is, where it's normal play, everyone bursts back to like there's like level sets. But then there's some that like even Phantom of the Opera where it's just like it's so operatic, you got to be on that vibe or it's not gonna hit.
This is a good segue into something I saw, an interview I saw with Ariana Grande ahead of the release of Wicked. And it's something that I think is just so heartwarming. she's a lot younger than all of us, of course. And when she was small, or she was a small child,
She's literally my age. She's older than you.
She's older than me. I'm the youngest here.
sorry. So
Sorry, this side of the table, the crumbling side of the
I'm
table.
gonna just scoot away in a minute.
I'm having trouble with my ankles right now. My joints hurt.
So
You
she
can hear that on the mic.
She
I'm
told
sorry.
an interviewer that in an interview that her grandmother had taken her to see Wicked on Broadway, and she got to go backstage to meet Kristen Chenoweth. And when she met her, she said, "I want to be Glinda one day." And she said, "You will be. I believe in you." And since when she first found out that she got the part for Glinda for the Wicked musical, the movie, she called Kristen, and because they had kept contact over the years, and Kristen was just over the moon excited for her, cried with her, celebrated with her. So she's had her by her side every step of the way through the filming of everything.
That's
I was just like,
adorable.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that gave me chills to hear, because, you know, how often when you're a child does somebody say, "Yeah, I believe in you, you can do that," and then you do it and you crush it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like something a lot of people don't know about Ariana Grande, because at least people my age associate her with Nickelodeon.
Yes.
Because she was on Victorious, and then Sam and Cat
My
after
nephews
that.
used to watch.
Yeah. But I used to watch Victorious.
theater kid.
But she was on Broadway first. She was on 13.
She was in 13 the musical, which
Yeah.
is also probably where my musical theater love stemmed from.
Yeah.
I would watch bootlegs of that too.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing.
Yeah.
Theater is awesome.
Yeah, she's fully a theater kid.
That's adorable.
I did
Yeah.
not expect to hear the notes that came out of her.
Right? Oh my
impressive.
God.
I wasn't super surprised because every time she hosts Saturday Night Live, she's like a chameleon.
She's
Like,
everything.
She
Do five or six different styles of music.
She's good at impressions too.
Yeah.
Yes.
she is.
I'll tell you, she can take on the wings of death with no problem. I saw her in Hot Ones the other night.
Oh, I was like, what? I was like, I'm missing something.
What's that? Is that like a song?
It's a show where it's hot wings and even hotter questions. Hot questions and even.
I'm gonna have to watch that episode.
It's really fun. She's delightful. That's my first experience of her was in this movie. By the way, we never introed it. Wicked Part 1, 88% on Rotten Tomatoes is what it has. It's directed by John M. Chu. Hey, Noel, what else did John M. Chu direct?
G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Ah!
Step
Classic.
up and step up to the streets.
Wait, he did Step Up.
Yeah.
Talk about things that were pivotal in my life.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, that was good.
And In the Heights.
Oh,
In the Heights was a great
That was a good one too.
None of us have mentioned.
Yes.
that's a
That
fun
one's
one.
good too.
Written by Winnie
I was gonna say.
Holtzman and Dana Fox is who wrote it.
Winnie
Starring
Holtzman is the play.
Oh, thank you.
She also wrote the book, not the music, the book for the play.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
The
She
book
co-wrote-
for the play.
So the words, the story, and then
script.
someone else does the music.
Gotcha.
She wrote the
I understand.
playbook.
Starring Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, Jeff Goldblum, and Michelle Yeoh. Misunderstood because of her green skin, a young woman named Elphaba forges an unlikely but profound friendship with Glinda, a student with an unflinching desire for popularity. Following an encounter with the Wizard of Oz, their relationship soon reaches a crossroad. Across Yellow Brick Road, as their lives begin to take very different yellow brick roads. Yeah, let's get into the movie. We're going to discuss our basic thoughts of the film. Before we get into spoilers, we will let you know when the spoilers are headed your way, so fear not.
Oh, also, anybody in the chat who knows the whole story of all this, some of us don't know what's going to happen in part 2 or act 2.
Yeah, shut up.
So don't.
The two men at the table don't know what's gonna happen.
Typical.
I would like
Don't
to say.
spoil
Typical man.
the sequel
Yeah.
White man.
for me. So let's start with our basic thoughts on Wicked, starting with Sam. Go.
I loved it.
Oh, great.
In the bag.
You know, when they first announced this was coming out and they announced that Ariana Grande was going to play Glinda, I was like, oh no, they're going to ruin it. You know, I had
She had
very
Alice Angry Arms.
I had low expectations. I did not anticipate to be blown away the way that I was. I knew I wanted to see it opening weekend. I had to be there. We went and it captivated me so much that he could probably attest to this sitting next to me. I was like a child at Magic Kingdom for the first time.
Aw.
And I was just, my cheeks were hurting from smiling because I was just in Oz with all of them, especially when they get to Emerald City. That part, I loved just magical, beautiful.
Short day.
And so anyway, the film itself, thumbs up. I really do love how you saw some things that were definitely not in the play, that maybe were in the book, but I haven't gotten to that part yet. And then there was some filler, and I wasn't upset about the filler. I was happy with it. It added to the story. All the actors, I think, were perfect for the part. In hindsight now, I really regret ever
Doubting it?
doubting it 100%. So yeah, 5 stars.
Oh, wow.
One of my favorite things about you is how big you feel about things, especially when you're like excited. Watching it with you was awesome.
This
It was just like it was just like energy. Like
Something you don't know about Sam, audience, is that she will fist pump in the theater. She is very active in the theater.
Is that her angry arms? Is
well,
pumping?
Look to other people for validation that they're also experiencing this moment as intensely as I am. Like, are you seeing this?
It's kind of like it's like one of these or one of these or one of these or
I have to hold on to something.
Yeah.
but it's
charming.
It's not disruptive.
There was a
Which is
lovely woman
key.
next to
It's
me
not
who
disruptive.
was definitely in her 60s or 70s with her adult daughter.
They both had blankets.
And it was clear that they had seen the musical, and they were whispering, "Oh, remember that? Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh," and I was like, I wanted to turn around and talk to them because this guy's in the dark and
The whole third act too. That old lady,
crying.
she was wonderful. She had her hand in her mouth the whole third act, and her watch kept lighting up because she didn't know how to put it on any other mode, and I didn't mind. Because
wow.
well, because she was so into it, and it was
Wow.
fine. Meanwhile, the fuck bucket next to me,
Her daughter, her adult daughter.
was like wrangling the 4
dare you
kids
talk about
that she
Sam?
belonged to. That was like she was wrangling I'm going over it. She was wrangling the 4 kids in front of her, and when they were like quiet and ready enough to watch the movie, she just immediately pulled out her phone and started texting, and I was just,
Oh, that's
Gross.
Hate that.
and I wanted her to die.
damn.
Did she?
Those are harsh feelings.
I hope so.
Don't worry,
Very
the
big
monkeys will
feelings
get her.
you're having.
we feel big in this house.
I mean, so do I.
So-
I get it.
So keep going. What did you think of Wicked?
Oh, so I didn't want to like it as much as I did, because I'm not a giant fan of, hey, let's turn it into 5 movies and let's just stretch the shit out.
yeah.
I'm not a fan of like arbitrary segmentation of movies.
Does it
Which
need
happened
to be
way
too
much.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of like good storytelling, not protracted storytelling.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't know, like it was 2 hours and 40 minutes. I was like, I really like musicals. I hope this is fun. I know those 2 songs. And then leading up to it, everyone's having the conversation about like, oh, there's going to be singing in the theater. And I just want everyone to like die. I want to just watch the movie.
In a fire. Yeah.
Like even when you go to Broadway, you're not allowed to sing.
Right.
You're just there.
Unless it's indicated as such.
Sure. But I don't know. I
think they are releasing a sing-along version.
which
They
is
are.
great.
Yeah.
I saw that and I thought of you guys because we were talking about it last week.
Absolutely great. I'll go and I'll scream. That's awesome. But like,
Not the song. You're just gonna.
Just a nonstop, high pitched.
the whole time.
Yeah.
You hated that.
Yeah.
Sure did.
I don't know. I felt very anxious about it. And then I also knew that you were super excited. So I was like, I don't know. I just felt really, and it was so packed. Everyone was
packed.
Yeah.
Everybody was sick. Everybody was sniffling.
Sick. It was
The entire
packed.
time I was like, I'm gonna get sick. I
there
know
was
it.
there was other kids that were just they had the most intense packaging for their candy that's ever existed.
Oh, I see.
Who had a big plastic bag, and inside it were additional
just
Ziploc
like
bags full of
a
snacks for
bin
each child.
of bags inside more bags.
And every time they
Filled with
wanted it,
spaghetti.
She thought she was doing so good.
yeah, she did.
But it wasn't just like the ambient noise of a movie theater. It really was like hardcore
God.
packaging. And then the kid behind me was in charge of the other bag, so he was constantly reaching in to get other people's stuff, smacking the back of my seat over and over again. There was one point where he dropped stuff and went down to pick it all up, and his whole body checked the back of my chair, which was the one time I turned around.
We both turned around. We both turned around and said, seriously?
I did my adult face, like the adult face, and he was like, "I'm sorry, sir." Like, yeah. He's continue watching the movie.
Yeah.
I hope he got. I mean, I don't want harm to come to the
Nothing's
child, but
sacred anymore.
I don't want harm to come to the child, but I hope he knows like you're in a shared physical space.
Yeah.
Be good. Other than that, wept.
Oh, nice.
I actually the whole third act was so fucking
I
effective.
think that's when it became real for you that this movie was taking a turn.
Yeah.
Got
I've
real.
heard Defying Gravity before. I've heard the song before.
Yeah.
But you haven't heard Cynthia Erivo do it.
No, man, I was
know.
not expecting. So also, this is a really good example of how they padded it. Like, it wasn't just a number. Like, it was prolonged over the course of like a chase sequence throughout Oz, but then also how she falls and how that all goes down.
Yes.
So good.
Save that for the spoil.
And that you can't do on stage. So like my biggest thing, we've talked about this before in regards to like adaptations.
Yeah.
If it's a play that you turn into a movie, use the new format.
Right.
Make it a movie, not just I filmed the play. So this was an awesome example of I am now working in the medium of film.
Yeah.
I'm going to use all of those tools.
Yeah.
Including editing and spacing things out and paste different.
And adding things and
Awesome. Loved it. I did like I don't know what I'll end on this. I'm sorry. I'm going too long.
No, you're
I had
time, dude.
a like emotional hiccup right here as soon as she said something inside has changed. Right? What's the line? Something inside. Something has changed inside me. As soon as she said that, I was just like,
Yeah.
don't know why. Like, it just
it hit you.
I had that moment at a
With-
different line.
Yeah, within me. That
In the
one, yeah.
same song, though.
But it was
I had a moment like that,
but it
like,
was-
it was earlier.
Yeah.
it was weird. It was like a cry hiccup.
Yeah.
And it came from like right here, and I had no idea where it came from. I was like, okay, I get it.
I'm doing that thing where I'm tempering myself because I could go crazy like you are right now, and I'm trying not to. So I want others to do it. So I'm taming. I'm keeping tame because there's many other folks at the table that need to talk.
I loved it.
Wonderful. Jess.
I thought that it was probably the best like theater to movie adaptation I've ever seen. And I've
Better
seen
than Newsies?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was a film to
bigger kid.
theater. That was a film to theater adaptation.
Kidding.
It was a movie first.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So like Les Mis, they did it, like West Side, In the Heights, like all of that. I think that this really held true to like the original intentions of what the musical is. Like they kept all of the original songs. They didn't add anything, which I hate when they add stupid songs.
Uh-oh.
I know. Saving that for
Okay.
later on.
Okay.
I hate when they do that. Because like as a theater kid, you're expecting like, okay, this is the set order of songs. They're not gonna like deviate from this set list. So that's what I'm expecting going in. So I liked that at least in the first part, they kept everything in the order it was in. I loved the filler scenes. They added a lot to the movie because again, it is it's going to a film adaptation, so you have to add that like layer of it to it. And I don't know, it was a 12 out of 10.
Big. Whoa.
Well,
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I wanted
have
temper
big
my
feels.
reaction, so I don't want to go too high.
Infinity.
14 out of 11. 14 out of 7.
So
Out of 5 stars, 40.
Yeah.
I want to see it
It's a
again.
film that makes you,
I know.
it makes you feel things.
I told my sister I watched it, and she was like, "Well, damn, now I have to go watch it alone." I was like, "I'll come with you. I'll come down to South Carolina and go with you."
South Carolina to see it with your sister.
Hey, if you guys just dance.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to go see it again and again.
I
and
mean,
again.
honestly, I really do want to go see it again. And Costa didn't come see it, and he does like it, so he wants to go too. So
Okay, let's go.
let's do it.
Something.
Your turn.
My turn?
Do it.
I don't know if you picked up on this. I was really trying to hold together. There were 3 different parts where I was like crying.
Yeah.
The one
Right at the same part.
probably
Wait, was it the opening title card? Because that did.
that got me. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
yeah.
Was it when the lights went down?
No. I mean, the movie started. The iconic font.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. When I'll save it for spoilers, but the line in the same song you were talking about where you had the emotional hiccup, when she says, "I don't want it," and then she goes, "No, I can't want it." I was like, like I started choking up. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I was in it the whole time. Like you said, I was in Oz. The way they built this world of Oz was just so beautiful. The train
Train was so
the
cool.
train
Fully
and the
functional.
guy with the mustache. Yeah. It was so good. And I had the same thing as you when I saw they cast Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Because I forgot. I was like,
nervous.
I knew
Well, when you
long
see
time
Adina
ago.
on stage,
I mean, yeah. I knew Ariana was a theater kid, but I like forgot that for a minute. And then I saw her performance and she's just insane.
Yeah.
As Glinda. And Cynthia Erivo is absolutely insane.
negative
She's so I knew she was funny. She's so good at she's like, even in Victorious, she was like the funny character. That was like her role. And so I was like, all right, she can be silly, goofy like that. But
I think that she played Glinda like to a T, like all of the
Glinda?
mannerisms.
Glinda.
Glinda.
I have
Linda.
a hot take on that.
Uh-oh.
Actually, I don't find Ariana's Glinda as annoying as the stage play, as the original Kristen Chenoweth did.
Yeah.
Because no one can be Kristen Chenoweth's level of annoying with that pitch of a voice.
I
Yeah.
think that has to do with like theater. You have to be a little more dramatic with it.
Right. But also she
kinda like
has to
toning it down,
scale it
but
back
still-
for her own
Yeah.
tone and her own scale and her range, right? So I think that worked for her in that way. But I was hoping for her to be a little bit more annoying and less of just a straight up bitch, right? Like in this movie, you really were like, "Oh God, I hate her."
Yeah.
But in the play, you're like, "Oh God, her voice."
Yeah.
The song where
Yeah.
you say your voice.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Are you,
what
are you all good?
Take it away.
What did you think?
I had, I was like the phenomenon of it all. I was like, I'm very, very curious about it. I don't know anything about the story other than it's the version of the Wicked Witch's events, her version of events. But I was excited to see the movie, excited enough. And so I loved it. I thought it was really good. My one problem that I said to Noel was I didn't leave the theater with any of the songs earwormed.
Oh my God.
Like they just, it didn't.
Listening to the musical at work. Like we've been listening.
Nonstop.
We've been like doing stuff in the morgue listening to Wicked.
Yeah. While I work.
I stopped when you said that.
Shower.
I don't remember how I responded, but like the reaction was like, fuck off. Because I do think that there's like solid bangers, but there are a couple that I just
I'll
care
just-
about
Yeah, I'll
again.
skip.
I just didn't.
Stan Chenoweth as a person.
Oh, Mark says hi, and Christopher Goodnight says, I actually can't stand Chenoweth as a person.
That's relatable. I get it.
I didn't do anything. She
get
didn't do
it.
anything to me.
Yeah.
She's fine.
kind of like
Um,
irritating.
But yeah, I thought this was a delightful film. I was really taken with the set design and the special effects even. Like, this is just a banger top to bottom as far as like movie making is concerned. As far as
Doesn't it feel like movie all caps? Like
Yeah, movie all caps.
movie.
Yeah.
This is a movie, not just like I saw a film.
will
Like it's
hold
a
up.
movie.
So just like the original Wizard of Oz holds up with all of its effects for the time that they had them, this feels like it will hold up, unlike that other one.
Great and Powerful Oz.
Yeah, that will never be okay.
It already hasn't.
It already
forget about
has, yeah, no.
The second one's got everything to lose at this point.
Well,
Yeah.
that's another thing to talk about later because they have a lot of filler that they have to create for that.
Two
to
new
become a
songs
second
too, I
movie.
believe, right?
And there will be 2 new songs.
I think my one, especially hot takes about Ariana Grande. When she sings a certain key, I have no idea what she's saying.
Yes.
Like her entire like bubble, and then in the beginning of the film, like singing
I
with.
just didn't try.
I had no idea what she was even saying.
That's like an opera. That's like opera singing. I was reading about it, and so, 'cause I don't sing, but somebody was saying like when you sing opera, like sometimes they tell you they're like don't focus on the words, focus on the sounds.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, she takes it away in that kind of way, and
no one warns the wicked.
yeah, I listen to that at least once a day.
I do have what's the song where they hate each other? Loathing.
Loathing.
Is this
Yeah.
feeling?
What is this feeling?
What is this?
That is
sudden and
constantly in my head.
Yes.
Literally when she was getting ready tonight, she was playing it,
get in the-
and I just happened
course.
to walk up the stairs past the bathroom as soon as she was supposed to say blonde, and I was just like blonde.
He filled it in. It was quiet. I was putting on my makeup, and he said blonde.
Now hold up. You have listened to the soundtrack since the
Multiple
movie.
times.
Since the movie.
I was listening
If you-
before the movie.
When you walked out of the theater, would you have been able to hum any of the tunes?
Yeah.
What is this feeling? Yeah.
You had it?
That's
All right.
that's stuck in my head.
I didn't have a single one
That
of them.
and dancing through
Unadulterating.
life.
I know every single word to every single song.
I love One
Jess is
Short
doing
Day.
the arms.
I love One Short Day, and I
Popular?
love the addition to One Short Day.
Yeah?
I did not even know that Popular was this musical.
Really?
Really?
I knew
Living under.
I knew the
What's
this
his name from
the-
New Girl? You
No,
sing it in the
no.
car?
Oh, Winston.
No, Winston.
Winston. Popular.
I knew this. There was a pop song that sampled it.
Oh, and it was Ariana Grande.
Yeah. Well, afterwards.
Oh, okay. Afterwards, she sampled it. She did
That I knew that song, and I completely forget
She's
the
been
gentleman's
obsessed for
name.
life, it seems. So
I knew that, but then I was
She
like, oh, it's part of this
manifests.
play. Cool.
See, I had heard that Ariana Grande had actually wanted to play Elphaba.
She auditioned for both, yeah.
Right.
They asked
she was
her
like,
to, but she showed up in all
She
pink.
wanted to,
Oh, did she?
she wanted to be Glinda,
Okay.
but she auditioned for both.
okay. all
They
right.
asked her to sing both parts. She talked about that in a different interview. She's like, I knew they were going to ask me to sing both parts, so like she prepared.
Yeah.
She did, I think, Popular, No One Mourns the Wicked, Defying Gravity, and I think The Wizard and I.
I don't think she
appreciate
would
the
have
pink and green right now. I just realized you are wearing
Oh, yeah.
pink.
Come on.
Yeah.
My pink.
And I'm just all rainbow.
committed to the bit.
I also feel like we are giving short shrift to Cynthia Erivo.
Yes, Arrivo.
Arrivo. Oh, I see. We've got a, it's a spelling error.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
She was
blew me
as,
away.
as the I think obviously she's the heart of the whole piece, and I saw her in the trailer and I'm like, who is that? Turns out it's my wife's and I favorite character from a Stephen King miniseries called The Outsider.
She's Holly.
She's so good as Holly in that series. I was like, oh, she's one to watch. I like her a lot.
She's
And I
incredible.
didn't even recognize her in the trailer, and so when I found out it was her, I was like, ooh.
And she's done Broadway shows.
She has.
And she absolutely
Color
kills
Purple.
it.
Yes.
Oh, I really want to see that.
Several awards on her belt too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
I hope so.
I think she would.
I think she'll get a Golden Globe. I don't know if she'll get an Oscar.
If she gets an Oscar, I think would she be an EGOT? Or does she already have a
I
award?
don't think she has a Grammy.
Does she have a Grammy? No,
She's got a Tony.
she does have a Tony. I don't know.
Also,
I'm not-
Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh. I was very delighted to see them.
Love
Oh, and
I
Michelle
do love
Yeoh.
Jeff Goldblum. I also didn't know he was in this movie.
They both sing talk.
Fully have a
and that's
shower
fine.
curtain. of him.
Yeah, I'm fine.
They're old. They can get away with it.
Yeah.
You know what?
You're charming.
I
You
think
can get
they
away
were
with it.
perfect for the role, but they didn't have the vocals for the roles.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the acting was there. It was perfect.
MVP Jonathan Bailey
Oh,
is
yeah.
so
Gem.
good at everything. Like,
Fiero.
and apparently he does all his own.
He did
moves.
everything. The book kicks, all of the dancing.
I'm going to learn the dance.
Fiero,
Fiero.
Who was that?
white guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Interest.
The romantic interest.
Gotcha.
It's Fiero.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he was great.
Bach.
Absolutely. Bach was cool, but
SpongeBob.
I feel like
SpongeBob.
he's got.
He was
got more in
SpongeBob
the
in
second.
Broadway.
He's got
He-
better in the second because he really didn't have too much to do here other
He
than
has
be a
more in
hanger.
the
he
second.
has more.
He's
Way
a little
more.
angrier in the second.
Yes, he's
Oh, so he's an incel. Cool.
Oh.
Oh, great. Should we get into spoilers?
Let's
I love spoilers.
Not
Spoilers.
spoilers too.
this movie, but not Act 2 because there's still things I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I know.
cannot
and-
believe
Just
that.
for part
can
one.
anybody summarize the Ethan Slater, Ariana Grande drama?
Oh, he was married to his high school sweetheart. They had just had a newborn while they were filming Wicked, and Ariana Grande allegedly met the wife, held this newborn baby, but then there's some confusing timeline situations of when her and Ethan got together. She was also married at the time. They both ended up divorced and started dating rather quickly after their divorces, so people suspect. And I think Ethan Slater's wife has hinted that there was something going on while they were
I think
not divorced.
She also has since said stuff like, "Stop,
Yeah.
we were separated. Stop."
Okay, has she?
Yeah.
Because
But-
I was trying not to bring it up, but I do love
Oh no.
the nature of the
Stop. It's fine.
Someone asked her about divorce and how that affected her and why, how she came to that conclusion. And her response was really mature and amazing. And I don't think I would have been able to word something like that after going through something like that. Yeah, she was interviewed just talking about when you know that things aren't
Yeah.
as you picture something, but it's not what reality is.
Yeah, and I've heard since that Ariana's own marriage, like there was a lot going on that like we didn't see.
know.
And like so it looked like she was the one initiating a divorce and doing other things, but I don't know. I don't even remember who she was married to.
I barely know what's happening right now.
Gossip.
Yeah.
He was
Anytime.
SpongeBob.
Yeah. You want to do gossip?
SpongeBob, now
Yeah.
he's SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, let's do spoilers.
So the whole movie, I'm sitting there going, Elphaba. That's a choice of a name. And so I didn't realize until our friend Molly, she was at the salon, my wife's Starshine salon, getting her hairs done. And she is a huge super fan of musicals, but also Wicked. And she gave me a whole like laundry list of all the different little nuggets that are in the movie that I didn't even realize or, glom onto, like the stripes versus Elphaba's outfits having no stripes, and then the stripes sort of like
You mean her sister?
yes.
Nessa's socks have stripes.
Yeah.
And that's a play on for the future.
Well, no, I mean like the stripes that they have at the school, shiz, versus her outfit, and then how when she starts to get accepted, her outfit starts to have stripes in it a little bit more than it did in the beginning. So there's a lot of story being told via just the costuming, which I didn't catch at all.
I absolutely love when they do that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do it through the costumes, through their hair, whatever.
Yep.
That's just good filmmaking. I thought you were making a reference to some sort of like secret thing about Oz that I didn't know.
No, just
okay, yeah, that's just good story.
No, I just love tidbits like that.
mentioned
And then Elphaba, the fact that her name is based on
Frank?
Elphaba.
Elphaba, who wrote Wizard of Oz.
yes. So I was like, oh, that's fun and dumb. I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's pretty simple, really. It's kind of
Pretty
interesting.
simple, you idiot.
What a dummy.
That's
I know,
such like
that's
a
great.
simple thing,
Yeah.
but so clever at the same time. Yeah.
Favorite parts?
Sam. Oh, it's a lot of pressure.
When the
Sorry.
lights went down.
Nuggets. Okay.
Oh, do we have more nuggets? Who's got more nuggets?
nuggets?
There's a few more.
Give me nuggies.
Oh,
So-
can I say one?
Yes.
Bingies?
So during Popular, she brings out red slippers and she clicks them 3 times.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I caught
It does. And that's a nod to the movie because in the book and in the play, the slippers are not red. That was something that was created for Hollywood because of the Technicolor situation.
Yeah.
Oh.
So in the
not know
original
that.
Wizard of Oz books, and then, the Wicked the book and then Wicked the musical, the shoes are actually silver. They're sparkly silver.
Oh.
So when you see Nessa wearing her mom's silver
Yeah.
sparkly shoes, those are the shoes.
Oh, I didn't know.
And the stripes on her socks are indicative of what happens in the Wizard of Oz.
the house. Yeah.
Be gone, witch, before somebody drops the house on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that's like, oh yeah, oh.
But
Yeah. You're like, oh,
I read into
You're like, I remember Oz.
the designer of the shoe incorporated a twister in the heel. And so little details like that you'll really only find in these silly little articles online. Some of them you have to take with a grain of salt because you're like, is this misinformation? I don't know. The people are making this up because they're reaching too far. Some people are looking at this film and trying to go back to the Wizard of Oz and make references. I'm like, guys, Wicked is its own thing.
Right,
It is
yeah,
not
right.
tied.
Also, they don't tie together at all narratively.
No.
Wizard of Oz goes out of its way to articulate that she imagined shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wicked is not.
It's real.
It's
It's
like
its own
literally
universe.
entire things actually happen. Yeah, so they're not.
There were other little nuggets that the filmmaker, what's his name?
John M. Chu.
Incorporated into the scene where they're all studying, the scene with the rotating bookcases. They
Dancing
spell
for
out
Life.
Oz with O and then Z at one point when it turns.
Fun story. I went to go get snacks and I was in line for 20 minutes. I missed that entire song.
That's the best song.
I feel like you'd say that about every.
You're so right.
You had told me you saw it before me, and we went to go. Were we seeing Gladiator? What were we seeing? I don't know. We were at the movie, and I was like, "Oh, how was Wicked?"
Sharks.
It was for sharks. You weren't yet let down by the sharks,
Oh my God.
but I was like,
Sharks? I'm so confused.
"Yeah, you haven't seen Gladiator."
There's
yet, but
a gladiator. I'm sorry. What's it called?
There's a naval battle inside the Coliseum,
Coliseum of Sharks.
which actually did happen.
Not the sharks.
But
They filled it with water. They filled it with water.
Not
know
sharks.
about the sharks.
They did not have sharks.
I'm gonna look into it. Okay.
Okay.
In the aquatic battle.
Back
there's
to the
actual
nuggets.
sharks.
Okay.
Nuggets.
In a coliseum.
You were like,
Well, the Colosseum was filled with water.
you're like, yeah, I left at one point during the movie and I missed something with like spinning and books.
Spinning bookshelves
And I was
or
like going to
something?
see it with you in like 3 days. And I'm like, I wonder what part that is. And then I see the movie and I'm like, oh my God, JD missed the best.
I was
part.
really
It
like
was
in my
such
seat,
a
like
fun
dancing.
part.
Yeah.
I was having so much fun watching.
I was also too like narratively and character-wise, wildly important song.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And
It's okay.
there was one other cool cinematic moment that definitely isn't in the play. I don't know if it's in the book, but when Cynthia Erivo's like fascinated with the idea of going to Oz, to Emerald City and meeting the wizard, she runs through a field that looks
yeah.
very sepia toned like the original Wizard of Oz, and the grains are all there. And then she jumps, which is kind of like a taking flight moment.
Like
And there's
Superman.
a rainbow behind her, and so yeah, it's just beautiful. I love it.
Nice.
It was
So many.
all right. The 3 songs I choked up during right off the bat. No One Mourns the Wicked.
Oh, of course.
When they bring out the
Yes.
huge straw thing of Elphaba and like Glinda sees it and she's just like, ugh. Oh my God. And when she sings, when Glinda sings, she died alone.
Yes.
And then throws the thing on the fire. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
That got me choked up and I was like, damn, we're like 5 minutes in. Okay.
I had no idea that that they were going to be friends. I just kind of assumed at the beginning that it was going to be revealed that Glinda was actually just a piece of shit. Not that like they were actually like friends and came up together and all that other stuff. So
More, I think she's more of a useful idiot than a piece of shit.
no, I'm saying in the beginning of the movie.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I didn't know where we were headed. But go on.
And then Wizard and I got me choked up. And then Defying Gravity.
Oh my God.
The lighting.
Degreedifying.
The degreedifying with the pink lighting.
Beautifully done.
Explain it to JD.
So there's a kaleidoscope that she's singing, and she's in a gazebo singing. And there's a kaleidoscope of different colors. The lyrics are, "He can degreen me" in a way,
Can I degreenify you?
but because it's like fractals,
Yeah.
she's changing colors.
Oh,
Going
nice.
back, like I think she goes gray, and then she also goes like her normal skin tone.
She's degreenified in
Yeah.
that
moment.
theme.
I encourage you to listen back to the lyrics of some of the songs from this musical because they do nod back to the original Wizard of Oz, where Elphaba says, "I dream that I've had this vision. It's almost a prophecy that one day all people in Oz will
We'll be talking about.
Will celebrate
me.
something with me, but
And then she says
that's
something
so
about
sad.
I could just melt. Yes. Yes.
Damn it.
Yes. And that is from the original.
Do you remember Brian Lieb, friend of the show,
hi Brian.
OG? He was in our group chat. He took his wife, who had never seen Wizard of Oz at all,
That's right. I did read this.
and she did not. She didn't really care for the movie that much because she was just like, I don't understand what's going on.
I don't know what it is.
But she did not understand the reference of the puddle at the beginning. She does not like.
Yeah,
she
it
had
starts off with the puddle.
Of melting.
absolutely no concept of like the illusions or foreshadowing that's happening, and she's like, I guess we can see the second one.
Speaking of the puddle in the beginning of this movie, if I may just take a moment. One of my favorite experiences of watching this movie was the theater that I went to, King of Prussia, and the hubbubbery that was going on. I haven't felt that sort of like communal movie-going experience other than like Barbie maybe, but like to a much lesser extent than since like the Harry Potter movies where yeah, like there were just like all sorts of people, including whole families and kids. And there were a bunch of like 12-year-old, 13-year-old girls walking out of the theater behind us. And they were just going like, what? They had never seen Wizard of Oz. They didn't understand what happens to Elphaba and like why she's dead in the beginning.
Literally starts off, good news, she's dead.
They're like, I wonder how she
what?
dies. Like they had no idea
My God.
about Wizard of Oz.
I would two other experiences in recent history at least. Endgame was very much like that. Everyone in the theater was clenched butts and just like and gasped.
I
and stuff.
sobbed so much during Endgame.
But she's
I rewatch it when I need a good cry.
Yeah.
The last 15 minutes.
or to get hyped up.
True.
The music is to get me hyped up
Yeah.
for a presentation.
I get hyped up when Thanos or when Scarlet
Kills
Witch
everyone?
says, no.
sorry.
Yeah, I love Infinity War.
Thanos snaps and kills everyone like.
When Scarlet Witch goes, you took everything from me. And he
don't
goes,
even know.
I don't even know who you are. You will. And I'm like, ooh, that hypes me up. That hypes
and
me
then
up.
Love that
when
Yeah.
when I at least when I saw Black Panther, everyone was just fucking
We were crying.
in it. Well, no,
the new one.
but also no, not the new one, the first one.
Okay.
Like people in costume that had no idea they
Yeah.
were just there for it
Yeah.
because it felt like a cultural moment. But besides that, you're right. There's no like capital M
That's-
movies. where
That's
people are-
what when the original Wizard of Oz title card comes up, when they read to you before the original movie comes on, it says this is for the young and the young of heart. This story we hope you'll enjoy, kind of thing. And I love that. And I feel like Wicked was a bit of that. You can meet, they can meet you where you are with this film, and now you can go back. You can get the book out of the library, which there's a lot of holds at the Philly Free Public Library right now. You can go and listen to the music from the original. You can watch clips. You can watch interviews. Like there's so much.
You can watch
content.
that episode of Glee where they
gosh.
did.
No, don't watch that. There's so many, so much content around this universe.
The scariest Ryan Murphy show.
And there's other films that we
think it's pretty
didn't even touch on.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to listen to the soundtrack to this movie.
Listen to the original Broadway one and then listen to the movie
I've been listening
one.
to the original Broadway one like on repeat on my drives to work.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
And then I'll go to the movie one.
I love it. What are your spoiler thoughts?
Oh my God, I have so many.
Amazing spoiler thought.
Let's get into spoiler thoughts.
You know, I'm like,
Spoiler thoughts.
What was your thoughts?
OTS.
Thoughts.
Me. Spoiler thought.
God damn it.
Sorry.
Anyone else?
Putting that on the internet.
I'll get going and then you can.
Sam's got one in there.
Yeah. My favorite spoiler is the nod to the theater fans that saw it on stage was during one short day when suddenly Adina and Kristen come out in beautiful costumes and makeup and start singing another part of the song. And we were there opening night, so the theater was packed, and you know it was like the Broadway fans were there for the opening night, right? Like they had to be there to see it. And when they came on, everyone shouted and pointed and said, "Oh!"
It was pretty cool.
And I covered my mouth. I couldn't because I knew I was going to scream if I didn't. And I just covered my mouth. I just covered my mouth. I was like, "Oh, no, they didn't. No, they didn't." And I was looking around to see anybody else's reactions. And there were people several rows down that were wearing like green and pink. And they were like pointing. And I was like, this is for us. They did this for us.
Yes, they did.
It felt very,
I
very good.
knew it was gonna happen.
But I didn't know. And that's why I was very happy.
You knew?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's on the soundtrack.
Soundtrack
before the
It literally
you will hear their voice.
The soundtrack. Well, not even that. Just you read.
It says
you read the
featuring.
title. It says featuring Kristen Chenoweth.
I wondered if they would incorporate them, so I steered clear of any content about Wicked leading up to Wicked.
Smart.
I just kept the basic knowledge from 20 long years ago in my brain and tried
could
not
free
to
zone.
dig in deep. And I'm so glad I did. It was so much more wholesome because of it. And then obviously the green glasses in Emerald City was a nice nod to the play and the book.
Yeah.
Because you can't the Emerald City is so bright that you must wear green tinted glasses to protect your eyesight.
I didn't know
And
that.
so when you see the different glasses that they wear during their visit to Emerald City, that's why.
I know. Maybe it's a spoiler. And I've not seen the second one, so I don't know. But the whole the opening, not the opening, but the opening, like the second song where they're Elphaba's origin, that's totally Jeff Goldblum singing,
About
fucking his mom.
yeah.
the
Oh.
That's the
adulterous
point.
moment.
Yeah, like that's
The green elixir.
literally
given
like that.
to
I
make her
like
what
they never show his face, but I'm like, that's his voice.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
So if you rethink how Morrible anticipated Elphaba and how she told her, "Oh, let's cover you. We don't want to get you wet, dear."
Yeah.
Like
This was
she
a
knows about her.
well thought plan.
She's she is she's manufactured.
manufactured.
Elphaba is
witch.
manufactured.
Sadly.
She is a pawn of the fascist wizard.
Damn.
I didn't catch that.
Wait, and also spoilers that the Professor
Dumbledore.
Dillamond.
Dang.
Dillamond
Dillamond.
I was
is
close.
actually a goat. In the
Yes.
play, it's obviously a human.
We have
Oh my God.
one.
dressed up like a goat.
So we have like morning meetings at our office like every week, and
About
someone in
goats?
our office,
About goats.
someone in our
Always
office
about
saw Wicked, and she was like, "Why did they make him a goat?" And we were all like, "What are you
was a
talking
goat
about?
from
He's
the
a goat from the beginning."
I was
beginning.
confused because she had seen like the OG musical. So I was like, she's like, yeah, I didn't get all the stuff with the animals. And I'm like, and we hadn't even seen the movie yet.
And I was like, what?
And I was like,
That's very
I was like, that's like
the main.
that's the plot.
Yeah.
That is the point of like.
And I was like, I realized, I was like, oh, because you saw it on Broadway, you didn't actually see a goat.
A goat.
Yeah.
So you were like, oh, and I was like,
Also,
yeah.
too, like one of the 4 main leads in Wizard of Oz is a fucking talking lion.
Yeah.
These animals talk.
I also didn't realize that the lion in this, the little baby lion was,
Is the baby cub?
it's the cowardly lion.
I didn't know that.
What?
No
Or were you living under a rock?
I didn't know that.
No
I didn't know
one
until someone.
But it looks like a
Say-
tiger, right?
anything.
We won't see anything else.
I didn't know.
Nothing else.
Wait, I
Neither.
really
Act
loved
two.
the nod of like when they saved the lion and they were in the basket and the bike.
In the back.
That was a nod to the beginning.
Wait, but then why does the lion? Fuck, forget it. What's the timeline of this? If that's the cub, fucking whatever,
You
whatever.
Listen, man.
Because it seems like
Time
it seems
is
like
just
a week happens and she's being burnt in effigy, not like
no.
years.
Oh no, there's
There's
No,
a
there's years.
Okay.
5-year time jump, I think.
Will there be? I was gonna say, will there be a time jump?
Yeah, there's a time jump in the next
there will
one.
be.
So like the beginning's like I think a 5-year time jump. I want to say.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good time.
A good time.
Good time.
I think and I don't want an answer to this, but one of my
Sit on my hands.
not problems, but one of my questions about the next movie
Queries.
is how do we get from this version of Elphaba to the Wicked Witch that we see in Wizard of Oz?
Well, Wizard of Here, think of it this way. Think of it this way. Or this is how it was explained to me without knowing spoilers.
So much I want to
The Wizard of Oz. Think of the movie The Wizard of Oz as the propaganda
Yes.
that
I
the
see.
wizard would
Yes.
I
create
see.
for this true story.
Oh, so
That's
the Wizard
how
of Oz
somebody
isn't
reframed it to me.
real. Isn't really what happens.
Let's say no. For the purposes
Propaganda.
of Wicked working for you,
Yes.
Wizard of Oz, the movie from 1939,
Yeah.
is propaganda.
That's the story that the wizard told everyone in Oz.
The winners write history.
That's cool.
Well, that's like, so when he's talking to her and he has his own song and he says everybody deserves a chance to fly, and he's like smooth talking her in that scene and he lets her pick the color of the road, which by the way is not in the play. That is a whole new thing. The color of the road, which is kind of cool
that
though.
seemed very fan servicey.
I liked it, but it was a little too much, that scene. I will say I could do
I'm a
without.
sucker for a model.
But
It's fine.
the way that Morrible and him set
like
her
his
up.
loneliness,
Yeah.
like he has so much time alone, like he's doing all of this.
Totally. Yeah, he's got his little play set. Like
Cool models.
it's like a guy with a train
I'm in.
set. Yeah. No, but I do love that you start to see that turn where you're like, Morrible is horrible. And yeah, like
It rhymes, so it must be
So
true.
mad because I didn't realize she was going to be a bad.
yeah, she's a bad.
Oh yeah.
Her
I'm,
and the
I'm
wizard
always
are
on the
bad.
side of Michelle Yeoh. So
I mean, that's
whenever
valid.
she's on
Did you-
screen, I'm like, she's
Did
the
you
good one.
see her hair in the whole movie?
They did that.
It
for
was
a reason.
That is villain hair.
You explain.
period.
Cool hair.
You explain it. They did that for a reason. The,
The
hair.
hair.
Yeah.
The wind.
So they
controls weather, right?
Yeah, she controls weather, so they tried to make it look almost like a
wind,
wispy cloud.
Cute.
Yeah, movie
This is a fun
rules
movie.
dictate she was a bad guy.
There's so much more to unpack, and we don't have all the
time?
time in the
Yeah.
world.
Any
Dylan,
last
what did you
thoughts?
think?
Did anyone hate this movie?
Dylan?
I did not see it.
So what
I've
did you
seen
think,
the
though?
musical
There's a
or
movie theater 5 minutes away.
I know I've been.
Will you go
busy.
see it?
No, I don't get out to the movie theaters a lot, and I don't think a
We
music.
spoil so many movies for Dylan.
I've already told him the plot.
He's watched
Part of
them
the
because
job.
of us. So
Yeah, I've
Oh, yeah,
watched them
absolutely.
because of this
Yeah.
podcast as well.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
you live with
Is
me.
Gladiator 2 going to be one of them with the sharks?
When it hits my TV screen and I don't
Sharks
have to pay
of
for
Rome.
it.
Hey, don't listen to him. It was fun. You'd like it.
Stop messing with me.
Gladiator?
Yeah, Gladiator 2, you'd like it.
Well, because I
Are we
love.
all holding space?
I love.
Are we holding space for Gladiator 2?
No, we're holding space for the sharks.
Gladiator 2.
For the Sharks of Rome.
God damn it.
Oh, that's a band name, right? Sharks
Are
of
we
Rome.
done? Did we do it?
It's this band. The five of us are in a band now. It's Sharks of Rome.
Can we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Since we're still in spoilers, would you like to address the Defying Gravity final scene?
That was so cool.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's my favorite part of the
Inner child
movie.
work, everybody. Inner
She's
child
falling from the Emerald Tower,
Oh.
and in her reflection, she sees toddler Elphaba.
Yeah.
And like it was just a pure movie full circle moment, like superhero moment that she got to like find her inner courage. I'm like, this is fucking perfect cinema.
All right, I cried 4 times.
Yeah. Nice.
The other time.
It you know what, it's like good like this is big movie making.
Mm-hmm.
Good big movies are emotionally manipulative.
Yes.
This was top to bottom emotionally manipulative, and I loved it.
Not
her
expect to love it as much.
No,
her
not
flying was so well done.
Oh,
Like when she's holding the broom and
She cloak, all of
her
own
cloak, which is a mile
all of her own
long.
stunts while singing. Everybody sang live.
The long cloak was a thing in the play too. It was just
Yes.
like a big piece of drapery that came down
It's
on
an
stage.
iconic part of the
It was supposed to make her
And
look like so much taller and higher than
I
everybody
see.
Yeah.
was.
soaring and all of the soldiers at the bottom and all the people of Oz
was a great
screaming.
illusion.
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah. Shit. I forgot what it was.
I was surprised that the monkeys weren't cool with her.
Well, they will be.
Yeah, eventually. Hey, Dylan, Costa's in the chat saying, hey, Dylan, have you seen Mission Impossible?
Kosa, I haven't. We should get together and watch.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we jet, here's a glance at what we're planning in the next few weeks. Next week, in our season finale, we'll be premiering a limited cult pop event series, Missions Probable, where over the course of the next 6 months, we will be taking a deep dive into each of the Mission Impossible films in preparation for next May's Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. So join us for that. Thank you for joining us. And until next week, where else can the people find you? Jess.
You can find me on Instagram, Jessica Bish, or you can follow our Inside the Morgue pod Instagram as well.
Yeah.
And listen to us on Spotify, Apple, over here on YUNKJunk.
Yeah. We're part of the YUNKJunk fam. Inside the Morgue. Check us out.
New episodes come out on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Oh, today.
There's a new episode out today.
Today. Oh, that's the one where we played Morbid.
We played Morbid Curiosity with Dylan.
With Dylan. Please listen to it. It's so funny. I just kicked over my water bottle. I'm so excited.
Like
about
she's
it.
knocking
It
over the
was so
fucking
funny.
set.
Watch the show.
Please. It's so funny. And I'm knocking that over.
I'm not just a wife. You can find me at by Sam Costa on Instagram. That's BY.
I was going to say,
You're not just a wife, but I am just a husband.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm a writer and editor. So feel free to
artist.
follow. Sometimes I dabble in the arts.
and you can
Like
geek
this
out
show.
about Wicked with Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, anytime.
Talk to me about Wicked.
Jump in. Every Wednesday morning,
Yeah.
we release a podcast called Fresh Floppies, which is a spoiler-free reviews of all the comic books that come out today, the day of the
Wednesday.
show. Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then here every Wednesday night, man.
That's right.
And I'm very, very excited for Missions Probable.
Yeah, this is his baby. He's
We're
very
doing
excited.
this.
I mean, I'm also very excited. They're great movies.
We are going to watch all 8 of them and deep dive into each one.
Carl says,
just gonna address
Alice,
that.
this has nothing to do with Wicked, but I am going to see Carrie tomorrow night. I am super. Wait. Do you mean the musical, Carrie? Or do you mean just the movie?
The movie.
I think-
he's been going to like screenings. He's been going to screenings.
Nice.
Carl, are you going with your son? Like they did
I'm so
Exorcist.
excited for you,
They did
Carl.
Exorcist recently, and it was the first time his son saw it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why don't I know
Tell
this?
me everything about it. Carrie is one of my favorite movies.
Why don't you tell me this, Carl? You tell
wait.
Noel,
so
but not
excited.
me.
Speaking of
For you.
Carrie, directed by Brian De Palma, we'll see you guys here next week where we talk about Mission Impossible,
Directed by
Brian De Palma.
So
Love your hat.
It's an action movie shot like a horror movie.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
great.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Ew.
And we'll talk at you later. Skeedly-dee-doo.
If you care to find us, look towards the western sky.
Nope, the OG film.
Yes.
Nice.
Enjoy. It's the best.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk at you later.